my goodness, what a crazy episode tonight. Rogelio is taking a page from our book and live streaming. We have old friends coming back and old enemies. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, so cute. The dance moves get better every week on this show. Welcome to the Jane the Virgin after show. Tonight we are discussing chapter 95, guys. It has been a crazy, crazy ride. We have so much to get into. Lina is back. Petra's mom is back. I had to breathe before I said that one. We have wedding planning. We are live streaming. So much to get into. But first, let me introduce my beautiful co-host, Miss Delia Gomez, to my left.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Woo! Yeah! And Simone Thomas.
Hi everyone.
And I love the cheers. Yes, this energy is amazing
No
tonight.
paparazzi. No paparazzi.
No pictures.
Northwest. And my name is Rivette Soro. And first, Simone, what were your overall thoughts of this episode?
So many emotions between Rafael just being disconnected and fully involved in his work and forgetting that he needs to get married to Jane, Petra and her ego getting in the way, and then her in that accident, and then Rogelio and his heart condition. It was a lot going on.
Like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. Awesome episode.
Yeah, I have to agree with Simone. It was great, but they kept on taking us one way, and then my heart would go one way. It was like, I loved it. I loved it, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
I loved it too. I think I cried 3 times. I laughed throughout the whole thing. I think at one point we were yelling, we were screaming.
Yeah, we did.
It was a lot. Everyone in the studio was like, what's going on?
Are they okay?
So Lina's back, which I missed her. Did you guys miss her?
I love her energy. She's so spunky. She's that fun friend that you need. So it was nice to have her back.
It's like they have a sister bond, and it's nice because Jane doesn't have any siblings. So I love seeing that true friendship.
Exactly.
So Lina sort of comes in and helps with wedding planning and everything, being a good friend, and then she sort of asks Jane for a really big favor and asking her if she can use her eggs to have her own baby because her and her husband are struggling.
Yeah.
Delia, how would you initially react
Girl,
to that?
first of all, that was not at all subtle hush. No. They were like, oh yeah, is this your desired design? Can I have one of your eggs? I was like, how did we even get there, Lina? But I feel like that's how she is. She's just very to the point.
Straight to the point.
I am very happy that they didn't go through with it. I will be honest, but I love the path that the steps that they took to understand each other in this process made me realize that yes, they are best friends for life. But yeah, that would have been a nightmare between these two.
I don't know if that's healthy for any close relationship. If you have a best friend to consider something like that, just because you have a forever physical representation of you, but they're technically not yours because you're not raising them.
Yeah.
But I did like how they explained, that is not a word.
It is now.
Displayed, the proper way to talk about something that's complicated like this, to be very honest and not just assume, because I think Lina didn't want to touch on those complicated topics and she just wanted to be like, hey, do you want to give me your egg? Perfect, now we're done. And Jane was like, no, we have to go through all of these things, because if you don't touch on that and be very specific, then it becomes complicated once the child is here, and you can't just assume things are going to be all easy, because it's not.
Right. I feel like Lina sort of was just like, oh, I want your eggs and it'll work out and everything, but she really didn't think these things through. I was kind of taken aback when Jane was asking, these important questions, like, what's the kid going to be to me or to my son Mateo? Are they going to be brother and sister or cousins? It was weird that Lina took offense to that, but they did come back from it, and I loved how, the journey they took, because if Jane had just said no, I feel like a part of Lina would have always, they still would have been best friends, but she would have always been like, oh, she said no. That's something you kind of can't forget. And if Jane said yes, again, I don't know about you guys, I personally would not be able to let go of the fact that that is my child.
Exactly.
Biologically.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. Would you guys, if you were in Jane's situation, would you say yes or no? Because you basically said no, right?
Yeah, I think I'd say no. just because of the same things, I would have a very hard time detaching from that.
Yeah.
It's just...
I would feel the same way. And even a woman can be paid a lot of money for giving their eggs, but just knowing that there are little mini-me's around, I would have guilt, or just I would want that closure, and I wouldn't get that because I wouldn't get to meet them.
Yeah, I guess it gets to the science. You have to be like, it's not technically a child, it's an egg. Like, you have to be really, really scientific. And
Right.
up to the point of, like, what you consider to be life.
And that's a whole nother topic of discussion. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, I would love to, like, through that, I was thinking of my own, best friends, and wow, if I was approached with this, it's tough, but I ultimately don't think I would be able to do it.
No.
I do like, though, Rafael's reaction, because initially, he was like, no, but then he was like, it's your body, and you should do what you want.
I wrote that down. I was like, men, take note.
Yeah.
In other states, take note. It is our bodies.
Yes.
Not yours. You have absolutely no control over what someone can do with that. And especially as a man, you don't know what it's like to have a uterus. You don't know what it's like to just go through the monthly things that we have to deal with. It's very difficult to be a woman, and for him to be empathetic and say, you know what, at the end of the day, you make this decision. I respect him as a man for that.
Yeah. I don't mind him saying that he didn't think it was a good idea.
Right.
I didn't mind that at all. I want someone's input, especially if it's a partner. So, yeah, I was okay with that. And the fact that he followed up with, whatever you decide, I will support you. I was like, oh, guys, it's Rafael being perfect again.
So y'all are Team Rafael now?
I mean, it's hard not to be, right?
What did I say, though?
What did I say now?
I am in your bandwagon. Sign me up. I'm there. I'm right there
he's
with
amazing. He's amazing.
Finally, man.
And also,
I've always said that. I just said that I never could decide.
Oh, okay. You were Team Michael the whole entire time.
I like both of them. I always did. Michael was her first love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. You never forget those.
Yeah. You had moments where you liked Michael, so
I did.
We can go back to those. We can just replay them like a montage.
we have all the receipts. It was nice. I love the sort of journey they took, and I was surprised at the fact that her family sort of didn't want to pry. They were like, "Oh, I'm glad Rafael said it," but they didn't like. I feel like usually they would have
chime in.
Really been like, "Don't do it."
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Especially
would have
been like, ¿qué? ¿Qué? No.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I don't know. I love it though, and their friendship at the end when Jane said, or Lina said to Jane, "You wouldn't ask anyone else these questions," and she said, "Because I wouldn't consider doing this for anyone else."
I know.
I lost it. I'm gonna call my best friend after this. You guys are my best friends too.
Yeah.
But like we're experiencing this
I don't need to call you guys.
And you guys are our best friends.
Yes. We love you guys.
Yes, and Simone, please tell them how much we love them.
Guys, thank you so much for coming every single week to talk to us in the live chat. So if you're listening to us on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating and comment. And then if you're watching us on YouTube, like, subscribe, and comment as well. We appreciate your support. Tell your friends about us, and then come back every single week so we can chat and have a good time. Thanks so much.
We love it. We love you. We love live streaming, and so does Rogelio.
Very nice segue there.
Thank you.
I loved it.
He would not get off Instagram. First of all, they said 9 million and counting. Taylor Swift doesn't even get 9 million views on her live streams.
No one does.
No, Beyonce doesn't.
But they don't live stream to the extent that Rogelio was. Like, he probably has like how many days like just going live. That's insane.
That's a lot.
But
it was almost like a hunger strike.
Yeah.
But not.
Yeah. That's so tragic. I love it. Oh my god.
Do we think his pilot is going to get picked up?
Oh, I hope so. He's really pushing for it. That I just really want it to happen. And plus, he's so fun to watch on set. He's just like the best.
And even if his pilot doesn't get picked up, he's such a star, especially in the telenovela community. He'll be able to cross over eventually. Maybe that'll be the next opportunity. But like his relevance and job opportunities aren't going anywhere. If this one doesn't pan out, he'll be fine. He has enough money to sustain him.
And I love how his character in the show and in real life is kind of parallel to like they're like almost the exact way he's coming over into the American
I
audiences.
see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's actually a huge telenovela star for real, and now he's doing. I think he has another show that just got picked up.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Well, look at
like
that.
a sitcom.
Art imitating life.
I love it. But do we think the live stream was effective? Because it stressed him out to the point where he had a moment and he had to go to the hospital.
I mean, what was he trying to accomplish with the live stream? If he got a lot of views, that would encourage the network to pick it up.
Yeah, I guess because it's like the more people know about it and are pushing for it, then it's like there's actually an audience who's hungry for this content.
I see.
I'm assuming that it was kind of more of, but it's also Rogelio, so it could be just.
That's true.
I don't know how his logic works really.
Yeah, a lot of times there's no logic behind it.
Yeah, but usually if you get a huge buzz about it, they're more likely to greenlight it because they know there's going to be at least some people watching it versus starting from scratch.
Yeah, where no one knows anything about this show.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
So Zoe finally convinced him to turn off the live stream. They had their little husband and wife moment. And then she feels something weird in his heart. He didn't have a heart attack. No. He had a lone atrial fibrillation. I think that's what they called it.
Science.
Can't relate.
Yeah, we're like,
I don't know.
It sounds bad.
Right. It sounds very bad.
Fancy medical words.
Yeah.
It's interesting because he sort of just came home and, Abuela had that sweet speech that had me just like bawling in tears, talking about being grateful and thanking God for their health and everything. But do we think this is the last of Rogelio's health problems?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I really hope he doesn't die.
I think someone's gonna die.
I feel like Jane always brings the death because they're always like trying to kill someone off or like bring those tears. And if I can't say the words. I just don't want it to happen. It's just
it's hard to predict who will die right now because we're still early on.
Why does someone have to die?
I'm pretty sure.
I have a feeling, and we've had all these health scares between him now, Zoe, and then Rafael, who knows what may resurface. Death is not unusual because Michael did die.
Yep.
You really never know, and it would be quite a finisher for the series. But as for Rogelio, I don't...
Petra.
Oh, Petra too! Who knows?
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And they all beat their sickness. I mean, thank God. But you're right. Something is bound to happen. Please, if you're in the live chat, comment below. Let us know. Thank you for joining us. Billie Jean, obsessed fangirl. We love you guys. Seriously. We really do.
Yes, Billie Jean girl. Keep the live chat popping. We appreciate it.
We do. I don't know about Rogelio. What I love about him, like we always say, he does the crazy antics. He wants all the attention, but he's such a dreamer. And I think I see a little bit of like all of us inside of him because, we're here, we're chasing our dreams, we have these big goals, and so does he. And it's like, it's refreshing and it's relatable, I think.
Yeah.
If I live streamed, there would probably be one person in it, but I still could see myself potentially doing
There'd
that.
be at least two, because we'd be in it.
Yeah, I was like,
you would be right there with me.
Yeah.
I'd be commenting as I'm in it. I look great.
It's amazing. Rafael, thankfully, is not having a health scare, but he is entering a new / old business venture with Petra. Is this a match made in business heaven or what?
It is a nightmare made in business hell that does not need to happen. It needs to be cut and cut, never see the light of day again. They're just like oil and vinegar, and clearly their marriage didn't work, and I think that's a testament that they probably shouldn't be business partners either and just be co-parents, and that's about it. And I get where he's coming from because that was his hotel, and if things didn't go the way they did, he would still own it. And to see her take it on that hurts. And so for her to belittle you or just not even recognize or validate your ideas and make you feel less than, that's hard, especially like as a man, your ego comes into play. And then having the background and then her embarrassing you in front of a peer of yours, that wasn't cool at all. And I think Petra was wrong for that.
I kind of like to see how they've grown from those petty, like, they were always backstabbing each other. They're kind of doing all their fighting in front of each other now, which I appreciate. So I have hope for them. I'm going to say I do, because I do like them together. I do like moments when Petra gets to be her true, authentic self with Rafael. So I'm going to say I'm all right.
So you're here for it.
I'm all right with it. Like, I'm like Jane. I'm like, if it makes you happy, boo, fine. But if you start to be absent more and more in Jane and Mateo's life, that's when I'm going to have an issue with it.
Okay.
It is interesting that you say that, because before they were always, when they were a couple, they were cheating on each other or scheming against each other. Now it's like they're on the same team. They have the same goals. They want the Marbella to be successful. They, want their kids obviously to be raised well and everything, but they just have different ways of going about things. What I thought was interesting, though, do you think it was a little bit opportunistic of Petra to ask Rafael to introduce her to that chef? Because it sort of reminded me of, like, I'm sure you guys can relate, if you know somebody or if you're going to a certain event.
Right.
And all of a sudden everybody wants to be your best friend or, like, introduce me or, like, sort of felt like that.
Yeah. And you don't even have that type of relationship with them. Or it's not even like you talk to them on a daily basis.
And I did forget that Rafael was so well connected. And I think Petra did too. Petra just thought, like, oh, she booted him out and totally forgot that even though he was a party animal and did all these crazy things and wasn't responsible and left the Marbella in the disaster, he also was a very charismatic, charming, lovable character that drew a lot of high, powerful people, and he came from a wealthy family that was very well connected. So we all forgot all that.
I didn't think there was anything wrong with it because, so the comparison that you just brought up, when people do that, I get annoyed when I don't talk to them or I don't know them. Him and Petra are family. They have children together, and they once worked at this hotel at the same time together. So it's not as weird because she's not a complete stranger asking for his help. Like, she's your co-parent. So in that case, like, our success helps our kids, and that's always number one.
Obsessed Fangirl 1D13 says, to be honest, I still ship Rafael and Petra. There was a quick second when I believed it again.
I got nervous for a second. When Jane was at the church or wherever she was, since it's non-denominational, I was like, oh my goodness, they're not gonna kiss. Like, please don't kiss or have a moment or do something intimate. But they didn't, thank goodness. I don't think that's gonna happen again.
That didn't even cross my mind.
Really?
No.
A little bit.
Just a little. But like for a second. It was like I blinked and I was gone.
I think they're like brother and sister. Like, I forget that they used to be married. It's so weird. It's unrealistic.
Yes.
But yeah. Especially with the club scene. That's the part where I was just like, ooh, I don't know. When he was calling her from the club and it was so loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, because you know how he kind of goes down that depressed hole sometimes, and he does things.
And he was a party boy too.
So it's kind of like, how much can you fight against a true essence of yourself? You can't always hide that shadow.
Right. It can come out at times.
Wow. So the Marbella sort of, you think, is a little bit of the beginning of Rafael coming back to his old ways, because the priest or pastor or non-denominational leader, I don't know, I'm sorry, he sort of had a point when he said, oh, your fiance isn't here, he needs to get his priorities straight. And I get, Jane was an amazing fiance, and she was like, you don't know what he's done and this and that, but she got very defensive.
She did.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, because you saw her get disappointed time and time again, because this is very important to her. The wedding planning, everyone else seems to be pushing it aside, and she just wants someone to be, especially the person getting married to, and it's going to be his wedding too. Yeah. Not caring enough about it.
And then it's like, when it's one thing for you to deny it to yourself, but when someone else brings that up and confirms that his actions are not okay, then it's like, no, I'm trying to deny that he's working hard and he is committed. So to hear that makes it more real, and it's a little harsh. So I get why she was defensive.
And it seems like he's gaining some power back. He's about to make a lot more money.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Rafael.
If he gets back to being douchey Rafael.
Yeah.
Because that's why she didn't fall in love with him, because he was such a douche at
Right,
first.
yeah. I think the Marbella feeds that alpha male part of him. It brings out his ego more, and he's able to assert his power.
Yeah.
And if he does go back and continue it, I think we could see those characteristics come back out.
And thank you for being so active in the live chat. Naja Middlebrooks, I don't know if it's your first time here, but thank you so much for joining us. Said, I think Jane and Rafael trust each other a lot and communicate way better.
They do.
Yeah,
oh, for
they do.
sure.
Yeah.
Petra is just like, she's so intense, and Rafael's personality just doesn't work with hers, especially when it comes to communication, I think.
Yeah.
And Jane is a lot more patient than Petra is as well. So she's willing to deal with his BS a lot more than Petra.
You know what I was thinking during the episode, though? Why is Jane still a waitress at the Marbella?
I thought that too, because years
like,
have gone
where's her
by.
promotion?
That's a good point. Because she should have, like, an office job, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's who Petra really should have been given a job.
The old office, yeah.
Huh.
That's
It
weird.
like, didn't sit well with me, and I'm like, what? She has had no career growth.
No.
I mean, in her writing, yes, but
She's committed so much of her life to this place.
yeah.
That's so true. But maybe if she were to get a real, like, 9-to-5 job, then her writing wouldn't be,
That's
like,
true.
excelling. Because, I mean, I think sometimes you do have to pick a lane if you're going to choose a career. Sometimes you take a job, it's like, oh, it's going to be good money for the time being. And then your real dream starts to pass you by.
Yep.
So I kind of prefer her to have her real dream come to life than having
Yeah.
her be unfulfilled.
And she's never sought out more opportunities there. She seems to be content with it. So
Yeah.
if that's
Right.
the case, it's fine.
Yeah. But it is that's a very good point.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense. Billie Jean says, I really didn't want Rafael to tell Jane that he doesn't want more kids. I hope he changes his mind. Which brings us to our next topic.
Gosh.
What is going to happen? Who is going to change their mind? The narrator told us one of them will. And the narrator also said, I think you know who.
Jane. Of course.
Really?
It wouldn't be Rafael. Why? He already has 3 kids, so he's really good. Like, he has more than one.
About the twins.
I know.
It feels so bad, but yeah, I forget. I feel like those are Petra's kids.
Right, but they're his.
They're his, yeah.
So he has 3, and most people don't just want one child. So when the narrator said, you know who, it's definitely Jane, I think. And kids are a deal breaker when it comes to a relationship. And when she said that it wasn't a deal breaker, I'm like, why are you lying to yourself? Because it may seem all good and okay now because it's very early, but 5 years in,
Yeah.
you may change your mind.
I would say I could see Jane being the one that changes her mind just because she's an only child and was raised as an only child. So she probably doesn't see... Well, she probably does know the lack of, like, not having a sibling, but also knows how great it could be having the love and support as an only child, that you don't have to share the attention with anybody.
And then again, Mateo does have his half sibling, so he's still he'll be an only child in his own house, but then outside of the
Yeah, he's
house,
got his sisters.
Best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds. So,
I don't know.
Yeah,
But I never really knew that Jane wanted to have more kids.
yeah, they never discussed it. I was kind of hoping when Mateo said that she was pregnant, and then her and Raph and Mateo were at the kitchen. They were at the dining room table talking about her pregnancy. I was like, wait, what if she's actually pregnant? And then that'll be the surprise. And then I remember that he can't have kids anymore.
Yeah.
And that broke my heart.
Oh,
Yeah, I forgot about that, too. It was so sad.
No.
Do you think a part of it that he doesn't want to have kids is because he actually can't have kids anymore?
And he wants his
Maybe.
own.
Because, I mean, like, a lot of the ego does play a big part in that decision. And if he physically can't have another child, maybe he doesn't feel comfortable with the adoption process.
Right.
A lot of like men, I mean women too, but a lot of men aren't, comfortable with that. I don't know. It's so tough. I want them to have another one though.
Me too. Mateo was so cute. We were literally saying that he's adorable.
He's the
But they would
cutest thing
adopt
ever.
a child, so it wouldn't be.
Yeah, but it would be a cute child.
Well, yes. But I was like thinking of like it wouldn't
All
be like
kids are
it
cute.
wouldn't be like Raphael or Jane.
I know. It's a lot. I don't know. Do you think Petra's gonna have more kids? Not after that car
Oh
accident.
gosh.
No, I think she's good with her two minions.
Yes.
Yeah. Her
She's
little
perfect.
mini-me.
Yeah, exactly.
What
I
is
don't
her
know.
mom gonna do? What is she back for? I thought she died. I can't even keep
I
track
don't even
anymore.
know why she's back. Ugh.
This woman's like a cockroach. You can't kill her. She just keeps bouncing back.
So scary.
We all screamed. Like I was like, "What happened?" These two,
What the heck?
yelled in the studio. We were just, everyone was looking around like, "What happened?" Oh, I knew something bad was gonna happen to Petra. Like that
I
was just.
felt it. I was holding on to Rivette's shoulder because I was like, okay, if something does happen, I need to like hold on to something.
Right when that phone call started and her and Rafael were all good and we're gonna work it out, getting in that car, it was all bad news.
Yep.
Everything.
And it
it's
was
just,
raining. You always know something bad is gonna
When the
happen.
storm.
Yeah, the storm has come. They've been talking about this damn storm all episode. It came with Petra's mother and it came with Jane and Rafael in their weirdly happy moment, which felt off when they were talking about the kids. I don't know. A lot of emotions.
It did. You and I were talking about like this weird part, this weird scene
When
With the keys.
With the keys. All right. Did anyone else feel like that was weird? So he slips. He drops the keys. It goes under the car. He goes under the car, and then Jane gets the keys. I thought something bad was gonna happen then, but it was like so weird. I was like, what?
It was underwhelming because it was raining. They're getting wet. His hand is under the car. Her hand is under the car. I thought his hand was gonna be get run over, or someone was gonna be injured.
Anticlimactic, for
It was
sure.
very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I'm like, something was supposed to happen.
Something was
something
supposed
pops
to
out.
happen there for sure.
But
they probably changed it.
It was weird.
It was a lot, but I can't be mad at it because this episode, it filled my heart with so many emotions and it really did its job. So I will forgive that moment.
True.
Please comment below. Let us know what you think because we were all sort of confused at that.
Clearly, we all were.
So continuing on into this episode, we need to get into our special segment called Ride or Die.
Yes.
So if you're new here, Ride or Die is our segment where we go around and we discuss who our Ride or Die character was in this episode. Delia, would you like to go first?
I will start. Mine was actually Xiomara this episode, just because I feel like she really had the finger on multiple things. She caught her husband, or she was trying to help him go to the doctor before something bad happened. And she's very calm about how she approaches Rogelio, and she was just trying to get him to calm down. You can really tell how much she cares about him. And I was really, when that happened, I was the most worried for Zoe. I just was just like, you just came out of something terrible, girl, and now your husband's going through something. So I'm sending her all my love.
When it
because she needs
rains, it pours. Seems to be
Yes,
the
it
theme
does.
of the show.
Look at her.
And the storm.
Beautiful.
All that raining.
So perfect.
All the rain.
It's like you couldn't plan it better.
I'm trying.
I love you guys. Simone, who is your Ride or Die tonight?
My Ride or Die is Jane Villanueva because she really showed and exemplified what it means to be a true friend, to be selfless. And that is something not a lot of people would do, to give up your egg or your eggs and allow your best friend to have children, even though she can't. So, and she was so classy about it and didn't think about, like, she thought about herself, but still saw the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And get you a friend like that because not everybody's going to do that for you.
Clearly, we aren't that friend.
I know.
Don't call me.
Yeah. None of us.
So on that note,
Yeah.
Awkward. No, my Ride or Die is Lina. Initially, I know how it feels. I know people who have really struggled to have children, and a lot of women will do whatever it takes. And it seems like Lina was in that place, but was sort of not having a lot of the answers. So when she initially asked Jane, it was like she didn't really know what she was getting into. After, having their conversations and really thinking about it, going back and talking about her husband, and, Jane said, yes, I will do this for you. Lina actually declined, and I think it was very mature of her. Like, let me take a step back and really think about what this is going to do to our friendship. And she even said, our friendship is too important. I have goosebumps. It was so nice. Their whole friendship,
so
amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was smart, though.
Yeah.
Not to do that.
It was, yes.
Moving on, let's get into some news and gossip.
Yes. So you guys, Gina posted today on her Instagram a very lovely picture of her getting out of the pool. If you guys are listening to us on iTunes, make sure you check out our YouTube. So she posted walking out into director prep like Foya. So Gina Rodriguez is going to be directing, producing, and starring in the Disney Plus original series Diary of a Female President. And this is going to follow a young Latina who grows up to be president of the United States.
I love that.
Isn't that a wonderful?
So
I think it's
here for it.
I think it's like a book that got adapted, but I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
but
want to read that book.
It's great. So
She's killing it.
she really is. I believe it's her production company, I Can and I Will Productions. And Revette found some wonderful gossip for us. It was actually on the Instagram. If you guys follow,
Yael Grobles?
yes, Petra,
basically.
But there's this amazing article about them. It was Entertainment News that said that Petra and
It said, forget Team Michael or Rafael. Jane and Petra are now the heart of Jane the Virgin. So Yael posted this on her Instagram, thanking Entertainment Weekly, and Brett Dyer, who plays Michael, commented and said, should I take this as an insult? I'm confused. And so Yael replies and says, yes, for sure. And Brett says, okay, cool. I was just checking. Thanks. And Yael says, no worries, anytime.
I love it.
Their friendship, like just the whole cast, this just literally tells us again how close everyone is.
Right.
And
Outside of the
everyone's
show.
so sweet. Everyone's so sweet. Everyone who's been on this show that we've had as a guest has just been a delight
Very
and just
down to earth.
amazing to work with.
Yeah.
I can just imagine what the family is.
I know.
On set, invite us.
We want to be there.
Yeah, we want to be part of the family. Can we please come?
We're honorary members.
And I'm totally loving Petra and Jane. Like, they're actually my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, whenever they're on screen together, I do love them. Like, I'm just like, let's just.
we need to
want
come
you
up with a name for them.
Yes. I know. Pain.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry.
I was like, that
just came out.
is not what we want.
Janetra.
Patane.
Janetra.
I like that. Janetra. 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 Hey.
Janetra.
Janetra. Sounds like medicine.
But I love
Honestly, I'm obsessed. Janetra.
Janetra.
Let's get into some Janetra predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
it. Predictions.
This energy tonight is amazing.
Oh my god.
I can't.
Simone.
Yes.
I know you have some predictions for us.
I do. I feel like Petra is going to be in a coma. Yeah. I have a feeling. Yeah, for real. Because when Lina brought up the topic of guardianship, I was like, oh, wow, it's important to take that into consideration. And then when Petra got into the accident, I'm like, whoa, what if this is really serious? And then her kids will go to, Jane will be their guardian, but automatically they would go to Rafael because that's their dad. But yeah, I don't think she's going to be well. And maybe the Marbella will go to Rafael. Maybe not. I don't know how the legal papers work. Yeah, never mind. But
Never mind. I changed my prediction.
I
You see how
retract.
she retracts sometimes, guys? So go back and watch the episodes when she was talking about Michael. Just so you know.
But yeah, no, Petra. It's not gonna be good.
It's not pretty.
Oh.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
No.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I do think I agree
hard
with
to
you.
think about.
Yeah, I agree with you. Something bad's gonna happen to Petra. Remember, I think I said she was gonna either get kidnapped or something because of Milos. So I was like, I don't feel comfortable with Petra. She has a lot of power right now, and everyone who takes over the Marbella and is like the sole owner, it's kind of cursed.
Yep.
Because everyone who's just something bad happens to them. So I'm just like, I don't think
that's a good point.
Why don't we just sell it? Why don't we just get the money and sell it, and everyone split it up and live happily ever after?
Yeah.
No one has to be the cursed person.
The cursed Marbella.
Yeah. Yeah. But that wasn't much of a prediction, but
It is.
kind of.
Yeah.
I think Rogelio's gonna be sick again. He is my favorite character. I know.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense that he randomly has this heart thing and now he's all okay. Like, there was no build up for it or anything. I think this was a preface to what's to come.
That would be terrible. I feel like this family has gone through
Too much.
enough.
Yes.
Enough.
They've gone through enough grief. We don't need more.
Especially, you know what? I really hope he doesn't die, especially when she said, I need more time with you because I've only had 7 years with you. And that part hit me so hard. I was like, I just can't imagine the fact that if he were to pass, I'm like, nope. Because
I can't even think about that.
the fact that she didn't have her dad in her life for all those years.
I forget that all the time because they're so close now.
Not to get too deep, this is totally random, but when my grandfather died, my mom was very close to him, and she fainted at his funeral. I know this is really dark, but I told her, Mom, at least, you lived a full life with your dad. A lot of people don't get that. And she said, well, if I wouldn't have known him, like, it wouldn't have hit as hard type thing because they were so close.
Yeah.
That was completely random. But yes, father-daughter bonds is just, I need Rogelio to stay, but given the way they introduced his little heart moment, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Warming us up for something worse that's coming ahead.
I mean, we did see the picture that they showed for the last episode of the wedding. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
So I do remember seeing Rogelio in it. Was
he was?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we were like, who is she marrying? And we were like, is it Rafael or is it looks like Rogelio.
But what if he dies at the wedding? He just drops dead because his heart stops.
This is too much.
I mean,
Simone.
Billie Jean has a prediction that's kind of okay. She says, I predict Petra is not gonna die, but I think her mom is the one who dies in the car crash.
Oh,
That'd be great. Not that I'm hoping death on anybody, but that would actually.
I mean, karma is coming for her.
Billie Jean, you are like coming at me. Is it the curse of the Villanueva women to lose their husbands to death? Is it?
What?
Oh, girl.
What if Rogelio and Rafael die, and then Michael comes back in, and then he can be her suiter?
No. I would hate this novela. I would no quiero.
No quiero.
No.
Guys, this is a lot. We have a lot to think about for the next week.
And cry
I don't know if
about.
I'm going to be okay. We're going to need to do a wellness check on each other. Because this is like way too much to handle. But thank you for tuning in. You can find us here same time, same place next week. You can find me at Rivette Soro on all social media platforms.
And I'm Dile Gomez. You can find me at It's Dile Gomez on Instagram and Twitter.
And I'm Simone Thomas. You can find me at Simone A. Thomas on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.